So if you're following at all the serious downturn, or I would say crisis within the luxury fashion industry right now, then you've probably seen me before on your page. And this is not to say like, you know, let's all feel bad for the luxury brands. A lot of this is self-inflicted. I'll just leave it at that. But as an independent designer and an independent brand who produces 100% in Italy and really 100% in Tuscany, it very much affects me. And I'm going to explain how. If you follow me, you might have seen me break down the landscape of factories and artisan factories and makers here in Tuscany and kind of how we got here over the last, I want to say 75 years. And the general gist of that is that like in the beginning, and I'm talking like 100 years ago, 75 years ago, there was like little artisanal factories that pretty much made their own bags and collections and sold them locally. And it was really Gucci that came in, and they were the ones that kind of started this model of all of these artisans producing designs that a brand or designer gave to them and making for a brand. And then the whole industry, the whole production industry kind of sprung up around that. And over all these years, all of these factories have specialized in different aspects of helping the luxury industry produce handbags and grow. And up until very recently, and I want to say like up until 5 years ago, even less possibly, honestly, up until COVID. Yes, 5 years ago. Holy crap, time is not real. So you had factories that were just taglificio. They just cut the leather. That's all they did all day long was cut the leather pieces for a different factory to do the preparazione, which was the splitting, the skiving, and the prepping of all the leather pieces for the third factory to do the montaggio. And this doesn't even include the other specializations like i timbritricio that literally all day, all they do is logo stamp. Wherever you want your logo stamp, like, you know, how in a lot of luxury bags, it's like really small at the bottom in gold leaf or something like that, or on the inside pocket. On ours, it's in the inside pocket. Just do that all day long. Factories that literally only do the edge painting on bags, or factories that literally only make the straps for bags. I think you're getting the general gist of it. But all of those factories need to work in large quantities in order to be able to do that one little thing. Otherwise, this model does not work. So the minute the quantities go away, these factories are in crisis. And that is largely what is happening. And over the years, certain factories, like the factories that do the preparazione, have pretty much disappeared. I really haven't seen any factories that just do the preparazione. But there are factories still that just do the montaggio. So when I was first starting out, I was finding that either I could work in factories that did everything and were smart, honestly, 10, 15 years ago, and saw the writing on the wall and invested in developing their own design and development studio that could help brands do the prototyping, do the patterns, do CAD patterns, source materials, all that kind of stuff, and then would do all of the sampling and the entire production process for them. But you paid a serious premium on it, which is how you get really expensive bags from brands like the Row and Proenza and things like that, because I know that those factories work with brands like that. And then the other way to do it was to just be here on the ground and have personal relationships with a lot of different people and artisans so that you could kind of ask favors and pull favors and get this stuff made. And that's what I do. So I was really running into this, I want to say like 3-4 years ago when I was starting my brand. And I was like, wow, I'm going to all these factories and I'm like, can you make my bags? And they're like, we're happy to sew them for you. And we're happy to do small quantities, but we don't have a skiver. We don't have a logo stamper. We don't have a leather splitter. And that is ultimately one of the big reasons I wanted to open Zero Lab, which is my leather upcycling center. And also it's a sustainable design hub that any other brands or artisans can like come and use. And we have all of the machines except a logo stamper, but we have somebody that will do logo stamps. But we have all the machines so that we can like subsidize these other small independent family factories that like don't. So today I'm on my way to Greve, to a factory that I just started working with, and they're a family factory. There's literally 4 of them. They used to be 15, and because of the leather crisis, they had to let basically everybody who wasn't in the immediate family go, which is very, very common here right now and is very sad. I know this video is getting long, but just bear with me. But they're making our next round of bags, and This is the first time I've really been able to work with a factory like this. So this morning I'm literally bringing them our pockets, which I had to bring to somebody else to have logo stamped. They cut them. I had to then go back to Zero Lab, split them, and then they mounted them, did all the edge painting, and then I had to go back to Greve and get them again to get the logo stamps put on, and now I'm bringing them back, all the pockets, so that they can finally sew the bags. Is this convenient? No. But is this the current landscape that exists and how I can do small production and honestly like support some of these factories? Because that is also where my heart is. Some people might tell me like this, you know, you just have to worry about the business of things and blah, blah, blah. But like, guys, if we don't support these factories, like they're going to go away and they're not going to come back. They're not going to come back. This factory is so clean. They're so good. Look at this edge painting. Look at this. It's perfect. And this is a pocket. This is a pocket. These traditionally only worked for like super luxury brands, and they have no business right now. And the other reason is because most brands are bringing all of their production in-house after like 75 years of developing this landscape and then kind of just pulling the rug out from everybody. Anyway, I know this video is long, so thank you for sticking with me, but I just wanted to give you a little insight because I'm so excited that after honestly like 4 years and 3 years since we opened Zero Lab and like have finally grown it and gotten all the machines, because holy crap, those machines are expensive. I'm able to work like this. And if you happen to be in Florence or are producing in Florence, you can too. Just come find us at Zero Lab because a rising tide lifts all boats. Ciao for now from Firenze.